Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NBA Bit Little Wednesday edition. As you can tell, your boy sounds awful. We sound bad. It's only going to get worse from here, but we respect it. And just to give people an idea, not only is this what it sounds like in the morning right now, but this is the schedule for today. For those that missed the tweet or the announcement in the Discord, we got a big show today, big content day, excuse me. Here you go. You made it to the NBA Bit. 1 o'clock, jumping on with our guy Andrew Laird to talk some SORARE NBA. At 2 o'clock, we're with the Badge Bros doing a little double dribble. We're also streaming that on the Elite Fantasy Hoops channel, which is fun. And then tonight at 7 o'clock, we get the return of the 89 Cavs. So we have a busy day. And I'm a little nervous. Honestly, I was very close to canceling the NBA Bit this morning, but I woke up, I felt okay, and too early, right? We just started the new schedule. We can't be canceling shows once we start the new schedule. Just can't do it. Can't do it. Who do we have in the chat? Happy birthday to the Down Under man in Minnesota, Joey Ingles. Thank you, Common Man. Good to see you here this morning. Sneeps is here. Garrett's here. Patrick in the house. Bonavine's here. Love to see it. Love to see it. Today, Stan says, man up. Listen, Stan, I'm here. We're doing it. Today, instead of talking about basketball, we're going to break down the vice presidential debate. No, we're not. We're going to be talking about the Central Division today. That means we get some Bucks, some Pacers, some land, Cleveland, and then, of course, the Pistons. And what other team am I forgetting? The Chicago Bulls. Stubbs is in the chat, too. Yeah, Cavs are back tonight. Get excited. Very excited about the Cavs situation. Snoop Loop says, happy National Have a Coffee with a Cop Day. All right. Ricky Ricardo's here. Not all heroes wear capes. Bucks in form. Can you touch on the dream situation? Hashtag my wife. Listen, let's save that for the end, just in case people are tuning in for basketball up top. Patrick, I need you to tune in for the whole show, and I need you to remind me around the 35 to 40-minute mark, okay? That's your job for this show. But yeah, today we're going to be doing the Central Division, as Snoop Loop said, Bucks in 4. Real quick, on Monday, if you missed Monday's show, it was a fun one. We talked the Knicks-Wolves trade and then broke down the Atlantic Division, I believe it's called. If you were here live, you saw the numbers were creeping up. The NBA Bit Show on Monday amassed over 1,000 views in like 12 hours. We're back, baby. The Bit's back. All we had to do was rename the channel. We had to get rid of those Disney freaks, and we're back, baby. But anyways, yeah, check that out. That was on Monday. Tomorrow is probably going to be an off day content-wise, just so I can rest this baby. And then Friday, we'll bring back the happy hour. We're also going to be doing a little playback action. Good stuff all around. And then, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for now. But we're like 3 weeks away. Media Day. Media Day's going on. Zach Levine was saying some stuff. We'll get into that. I'm excited for all of it. But let's get started. And again, this might be a little bit more of an abridged version because I sound like I've been swallowing cigarettes. Not smoking them. Just straight up swallowing them, sucking them down. All right, let's do a little Milwaukee Bucks. Let's start with the Bucks. Also, as it goes without saying, if this is your first time here, do me a favor, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, call your parents, tell them you love them. Let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. I think there's been a lot of discourse around them. Can they come back? Can they come back to title contention relevancy? They added a couple of good cheapos, right? They got Gary Trent Jr. for basically peanuts. They got Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince might be the only person to say good things about Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham back as an assistant, I believe, for the Bucks. And Taurean Prince was like, "Hell yeah, dude! I love Darvin Ham. Get me back, get me back." But they got Gary Trent Jr. and Taurean Prince for pretty cheap. Key losses. I couldn't really find anybody that was like a meaningful loss. I know there were rumors that Brolo could go, that Portis could go. They kind of kept everybody intact. I think the biggest concern heading into this season is Chris Middleton decided, hey, what if I had not one, but two ankle surgeries? So I think something to pay attention to heading into this season is like, are they going to do the same thing they did with Middleton last year when he came back? Is he going to only be playing like 18 to 20 minutes a game for like the first 30 games, right? Botavine asking if they kept Thanasis. They did, but he also like tore his ACL or something in his driveway right as the season ended, I think. So I don't think he's going to be ready until like really late in the season. Not that they need Thanasis, but there's that. He'll still be on the bench doing his yelling. But if Middleton is not really able to go, I think that's a pretty big problem for Milwaukee. I mean, they do have Giannis and they do have Dame, and obviously that's a great starting point. But I think when we like their like expectations should be title contention. And if Middleton's not good to go, this is a second round playoff team at best. That's their ceiling. There was some interesting dialogue coming out of media day that was like, hey, why did Dame and Giannis didn't work out together at all in the offseason? And like, sure that can be like a fun talking point if you take it out of context, but like Giannis played for Greece, right? Played for Greece in the Olympics, got hurt at the end of the Olympic run, had to rehab, and then after rehab got married. So like, I don't know when he was going to work out with Dame. I'm not really worried about it. Here's some glass half full though. Dame, remember Doc Rivers went around being like, oh my God, dude, Dame didn't get to work out at all in the offseason. So no wonder he wasn't good last year. One, Dame still made an all-star team. Two, now he got to work out. Doc's been there for a full season. There's a little bit more continuity there. But this is, I believe it's the oldest starting five in the league right now, or the oldest roster in the league right now is the Milwaukee Bucks. So there's some cause for concern there. Alex is saying, why did they insist on Chris? We should have moved on. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you get what Middleton did in that postseason series with the Pacers, Middleton was awesome out there. At times, he was the best player on the court. And if he can stay healthy, which is maybe the biggest if that we could throw out there this season, I think Milwaukee's got a realistic shot at competing. If we look at some of their 2024 odds there on the graphic, their over-under has been set at 50.5 wins. Much like what we talked about on Monday. I don't know if I'm touching any of these. These all make me nervous. But they're plus 1,400 to win the finals, plus 600 to win the East, and then they're minus 145 to win the Central Division. But yeah, I honestly, I'm a little bit nervous. I mean, if you tell me you're getting, 65 plus games from Chris Middleton, if Giannis is completely healthy, then, I think they can contend. But Gary Trent Jr. I think was a pretty important piece for them. He basically replaces the Malik Beasley role. I didn't put him down as key losses because I don't think there was anything key about Malik Beasley. Okay, Marcon says, when do you think LeBron is going to be forced into retirement due to Diddy parties? Wow, Marcon. Yeah, I didn't really do a ton of research on LeBron's involvement in Diddy parties, but you must be looking at the same type of TikToks that my brother is. And then you said, I think NBA will do a fake injury with LeBron 10 games in. Yeah, I'm not really buying that. I'm here for the conspiracy theories. I do think it's fun. I think it is a good time. I think it's a good time to get involved. I think I'm a little bit hesitant to, assume that LeBron was involved in sex crime acts. I don't think I'm going to throw that out there. I'm not going to be the person that does that, but feel free to continue to consume those TikToks. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see that. Excuse me. But back to Milwaukee. I do think Gary Trent Jr. is a pretty important add-on for them because he can knock down some wide open shots, and that's what we need to continue to see from their role players. They need their guys to knock down threes while Giannis and Dame are playing the two-man game, especially if Middleton is not 100%. Marcon, man, are you, dude? Blink twice if you're being held captive. 100%. That's the reason Woj stepped down. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, man. If you said 100% 10 games in, LeBron is gone, I will gladly bet you on that. I will gladly bet you on that. Like whatever your life savings is, let's do it. Back to the Bucks. Alex says, what do you think if it happens if we don't make the conference finals this year? Do they blow it up? I don't really know what options you have. It's not like you have a ton of like cap space and flexibility, but I mean, like I think you're naturally blowing it up regardless in the next 2 years because like Brooke Lopez is at the tail end of stuff. And oh man, the anti-clutch gene, dude. What have you been watching? Have you just been blowing Skip Bayless and then like his semen is now your takes? Is that what's happening right there? Anti-clutch gene, man. We've only seen him hit clutch shots. But I do think the concern with Dame is that he's just getting older, and those small guards don't typically age well. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I do think if they don't make the conference finals, I could see them blowing it up. But I mean, I don't think they're going to be. What do you mean not in the playoffs, dude? Just fucking Google Dame time highlights. He's like one of the few players who have not once, but twice sent teams home with game-winning shots. Marcon, go read a book. Go read a book. You're doing it. I'm not healthy enough to do this today. All right? I'm not healthy enough. I just he's the one that this is from the fucking playoffs. Oh, man. Unreal. Anyways, I don't know. I think that's probably it on the Bucks. Because I just like the Knicks have gotten so much better. The Sixers have gotten better. The Pacers are going to be better. The Orlando Magic are going to be better. And the Bucks just kind of got older. And so they're going to have to just run completely like fire with their injury related stuff in order to make a run at it. But I mean, like in the same conversation that we had with the Denver Nuggets when talking about the Milwaukee Bucks, like they have one of the best players in the world. And when you have one of the best players in the world, you still have a fighting chance, So there you go. That's it on the Bucks, baby. Let's go. Let's do a little mental health check, though. In honor of Marcon, we got to do a mental health check. We got to get one of those in so I can take a sip of water here. Let's do it. But I'm just not going to do it, guys. And it feels good to not cave to the chat because I am the boss. Like I said earlier, I'm in charge today. I am in charge. You can't tell me what to do. All right, that I look healthy in that video though. We need to go back to that. All right, let's hit the next team up here. Next team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. You see, if you look at the 2024 odds, just a quick correction on that. I left that at 50.5. It's actually 48.5 wins for the 2024 odds. Cleveland, I think that Cleveland's biggest win this offseason was keeping their core together. And Cleveland, they finished a 4 seed. I know they barely got through the Orlando Magic. I think I don't want to say we're sleeping on Cleveland, but I think they're better than we give them credit for. The fact that they were able to win as many games as they did with so many injuries last season, right? Darius Garland was not the same guy after he shut out Kanye, broke his jaw, right? Was eating through straws. Jared Allen missed some time. Mobley missed some time. Mitchell missed some time. I think their biggest addition, though, is Kenny Atkinson. I think Kenny Atkinson is a great coach. And you know how I know he's a great coach? Because when he was the assistant of the Golden State Warriors, he was offered and briefly accepted the job of the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. And then he said, no way, not a chance. That to me right there, smart guy. He was like, I don't want to go coach that dumpster fire team. And then he bounced. So I'm here for that. I love it. I love it. So I think Kenny Atkinson is a really good addition for the Cavs. I think he's a big upgrade over JB Bickerstaff. And I don't think they lost anyone, right? Garen says that this is an interesting and probably a good take. Said they aren't good enough or bad enough to be interesting. I think there is a world where Cleveland finishes third in the East. I do. I mean, I don't think they have a shot to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I do think they could get to third in the East. I really do. I think if Kenny Atkinson is able to do with Evan Mobley that he did with Brook Lopez, I think that could open up some things for Cleveland. I mean, they are putting a lot of stock in Mobley, who like learning to just knock down a jumper. And if we see that happen, and he can play with Jared Allen together, because when Mobley, like that, Allen missed a little bit of time in that second round series against the Boston Celtics, and Mobley cooked the Celtics for a little bit with some big numbers. And Stan's saying they need the Mobley leap and a Garland Allen return to all-star level. Yeah, I think so. And I think we will see some of it. I think success for them would be finishing third in the East, having a competitive second round series and getting bounced. Yeah, Markin, I ask you to please take Skip out of your mouth for a little bit and then just like relax. I would like you to take some time, put together one or two takes, Marcon. Let's go full screen for this. Marcon, because he said, how many games do you think Wemby has before he's out for the season, possibly live? This is what I would like you to do. Take a few minutes. It's quality over quantity. You don't have to say every dumb thing you come up with. I would just craft a couple together, right? And maybe every 10 minutes, drop one in there. But I don't think you have to put them all out there. All right, Chris Broussard, just like take some time. Take some time. Put the work in. You could still say your dumb shit. I would just craft in some good dumb shit. All right, let's go back to where we were here. Back over here. Okay, but yeah, I do think the Kenny Atkinson thing is pretty solid. So I think that is a good addition for Cleveland. I think they're going to be in a pretty good place. I also think nobody's paying attention to Cleveland. I don't think anybody cares. I think when we look at Milwaukee, there's a lot of pressure. We look at Philly, there's a lot of pressure. The Knicks just kind of mortgaged a lot of stuff to go get Karl-Anthony Towns. They have pressure to perform. Boston, pressure to defend their title. Cleveland, nobody gives a shit. You know, they kept Donovan Mitchell. They didn't have to trade their core. They get to just kind of run it back with a better coach. And even though Donovan will say like he always wanted to be in Cleveland, I don't know if that's entirely true, but he's there. Again, you put Mitchell, Garland, if they can figure out that game together, if Mobley knocks down some upside shots, they kept Okoro for cheap. I thought they picked up one other dude that I'm blanking on. But anyways, I think Cleveland, I kind of like Cleveland this year. I kind of like them. Again, it's 48.5 wins, so not 50.5. Plus 6,000 to win the finals, plus 2,200 to win the East, and plus 250 to win the Central. I kind of think that Central bet's kind of fun. I do think that one's kind of fun. I could see it, right? If Middleton does go down, the Pacers regress a little bit, right? We still haven't seen Halliburton play like a full healthy season. Who knows? Who knows? Any other Cleveland takes, or is it kind of like that? Like, again, I don't think people have a lot of Cleveland takes because I just don't think anybody cares. I don't think anybody cares. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I might get on the Spida train. After being a Spida hater for so long, I think I might, I've taken in the information. And I'm going to assess my take like an adult, all right? Like an adult. Because I know I was pro Jamal Murray for such a long time. I'm still pro Jamal Murray, BT Dubs. Still pro. All right, I think that's it for Cleveland. Let's go to I think one of the more interesting teams this season are the Indiana Pacers. So the Pacers, we got TJ McConnell up there. Let's go. The key additions. So they get Benedict Mathurin back. I think that's pretty important. I think getting Benny back is a big deal. He missed most of the year last year. And so I think that's good. And then the other addition is James Wiseman, who was added to the team. I don't know if that's a key addition. We were stretching. Key losses. I don't think they really lost anybody, right? I don't think they lost anyone. And the reason I'm so intrigued by Indiana, right? They've got Nembhard, who was really an aberration in the playoffs, right? Turned into a legit guy. Was like carrying that team, especially in that Celtics series, like turned into a true baller. They get Mathurin back, who's like a fun bench piece, who's like a lightning rod. You get Tyrese Halliburton, who is an all-NBA type player. You've got Pascal Siakam now there for a full year. Miles Turner, for the first time in a decade, seems to be off the trade block. They got this young piece in Jarris Walker, who I think is Could be an intriguing trade piece if they'd like. They re-signed Obi Toppin. They brought him back. So they're just this like deep team. And I think like looking at their over under of 47.5 wins, I kind of don't hate it. I don't hate this. And this is why I'm like more bullish on them to get over their win total than I am for them to make a deep playoff run. The reason being, and I think I outlined this in a different video, maybe on like the fantasy channel a while back. But I think also, real quick before I make this take, I want to shout out Markan because he did. This take was 4 minutes ago, and now I think he is spending some time crafting a good one. So shout out Markan. I think like the Indiana Pacers, when you play them in the regular season, it's like going up against a knuckleball pitcher. And it's you're so used to seeing 95-mile-an-hour fastballs and curveball and like high heat, change-up sliders, whatever. And you're used to playing a certain type of bat or against a certain type of basketball. And then somebody comes in and throws in this 45-mile-an-hour pitch that's just moving all over the place. That is like playing the Indiana Pacers because they're like, we're not interested in defense. We are going to run as fast as we can for as long as we can. And that is, and so I think that can help them win a ton of games in the regular season. And they're like a young, fun team. And they're deep, man. I didn't even mention TJ McConnell, who's on who's the graphic right there. Like they still have him, and they just got a lot of guys. I think Rick Carlisle is a really good coach. And I think they do have some ceiling in them, right? Like if Halliburton can stay healthy, that they're going to be a tough team to defend. But Halliburton, who has gotten hurt just about every single year he's been in the league, right? He was playing first team all NBA type basketball, like through the in-season tournament, then gets stinged up. And then even in the, like we learned after the Olympics ended that he was still battling an injury there. So like, is he going to be healthy coming into training camp? Will he be ready like full go in the regular season? And if he can't stay healthy, that team is going to be a tough team to beat. I think they just have a lot of different ways they can beat you. Like we even saw Isaiah Jackson do some stuff for them. Who knows? Maybe they rehabilitate James Wiseman. I don't know. Are you guys buying into the Pacers, or do you think that was just like a fun story last year and that's kind of it? What do you guys think? We'll do another mental health check here while I take another sip of water and wait for the chat to catch up here.
I'm sorry this didn't come with a hand job. I just don't think it's included in the airdrops. It's stylistically, that's tough to include that in an airdrop.
Mustache is underrated, I think. That mustache is underrated. All right, so not a lot of takes in the chat about the Bucks. All right, bottom line said, I think they win it all of the Emirates NBA Cup. Okay, so you're saying, do you think they win the in-season tournament? It's a good comment, bottom line. Really threw me for a loop because, I'm reading it in real time. Good comment by bottom line. Yeah, they probably do win the in-season tournament. The NBA Cup, excuse me, the Emirates NBA Cup. Should be fun. Anything else on the Pacers? I think you could do some like fun Halliburton MVP bets, right? Like if all of a sudden the Pacers are the 2 seed, like somehow they get off to a great start, Knicks slow down a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. All right, 2 teams left. I told you we're going a little bit faster today. A little bit faster because you can hear it in my voice, right? All right, here we go. Next up, the Chicago Bulls. Chicago, the Zach LaVine stuff was great. I don't know if you guys saw the press conference yesterday. So he comes out, or it might have been 2 days ago, but I think it was yesterday. He comes out and like it was almost scripted out of a movie. Zach LaVine hasn't played in forever, battling injuries. They were also, we're going to cough, hold on, battling injuries. They also were talking about trading him, saying he wanted to get traded, say he didn't want to be there. He sits down and he goes, before I take any questions, I would just like to say, if you're going to hear something about Zach LaVine, you're going to hear it from me or my team. All right? These false narratives going around. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited. And it's like, anytime somebody leads with that, I'm like, he won't be on the Bulls long term. Tesla with a super chat. You'll always remember where we were for the Mike Zakarian flu game. Debate recap from yesterday. Trump saved Obamacare. Just a cold. Trump saved Obamacare. That was great. Also, they cut the mics. I honestly think you are a sicko if you watch the vice president debate. I do. I think you're a sicko. I was watching WNBA hoops. Don't worry, Stan. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this in a second because I saved those motherfucking screenshots, baby. We're going to cough. But anyways, the Bulls stuff I think was hilarious. I thought it was so funny. Key additions, baby. Lonzo Ball. Lonzo's back. Sounds like he's ready to go. They said they're hopeful he's ready for opening night. Now, I don't know how true that is, but whatever. They got the exciting rookie Matas Bucelis. They still have Vooch there. DeMar DeRozan is on the Kings. They also added, you guessed it, Talen Horton Tucker. There we go. We got John Dubb back in the chat. John, you just missed your Pacers talk, man. Where were you for the Pacers chat? Listen, I think if the Bulls are able to successfully move off Zach LaVine, move off Nikola Vucevic, I kind of like it. I kind of like the direction they're heading. I think if they play this mid-bullshit basketball, it is a waste of a season. They have some young, fun guys in Bucelis. The trade for Josh. Oh, I forgot to add Josh Giddey. How did I forget that? They traded for Josh Giddey. They also lost Alex Caruso. Sorry, bad graphic. But like if you're building around Giddey, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, maybe you get a healthy Patrick Williams. You picked up Jalen Smith from the Pacers for pretty cheap, right? Just go lose games. Lose games. Get your young guys. Get Bucelis. Get him a lot of run. And then get yourself in the lottery conversation. Your over-unders 27.5 wins. Go under. Plus 100,000 to win the finals. Plus 25,000 to win the East. Plus 25,000 to win the Central. Right? Just go do that. Yeah, bring Vucci home. Bring Vucci Main home. Bring him back to O-Town. Because I want it all. Orlando. Shout out Orlando. But yeah, go ahead. Do it. But I do think they have to. I think they have to do that. They have to lean into the tank this year. They got to Frank the tank it. They got to do it. And then I think it becomes an interesting team. I think, you recognize Derrick Rose at the beginning of the year because he retired, right? Just lean into some nostalgia bullshit. And that's what you got to do, though. You can't be trying to win games here. You got to move off Zach LaVine, even if it's not a ton of value. I think you just got to do it. Wow. A Acela train just went overhead. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it came in hot. Big old as it went by. It was a little alarming. Anybody got any Chicago Bulls takes? I should have saved Chicago Bulls last so we could talk about. We're 27 minutes in. You guys want to recap some of the dream stuff? I don't know if you guys saw this on Twitter. I woke up yesterday feeling not great. I wasn't feeling healthy. I wasn't good. And then manna from heaven. All right, manna from heaven. Our guy Dream Shaker, who friend of the show, colleague, streaming partner, just lost his mind. And for those that don't know, we're talking about the NBA Top Shot world. I don't even know what this is really about. Something about getting put in timeout in the Top Shot Discord. And then just an A+ meltdown. And some of you might be too young to remember this. But when this all got started, it started with the meltdown, and maybe it just ended with the meltdown. Because they used to give out packs, right? Back when Top Shot was exciting. They would give out packs, and you could give it to community leaders, and then you could give them out to your community. And then he did this long video, just was so upset that he didn't get any packs to give out. It was a full meltdown. And then yesterday, it was just kind of a return. And let me see if I can find some of these screenshots here. Let me see if I can find some of them. You're damn right I saved them because I knew he was going to delete the tweets, and he did. Let me see. We're scrolling up here. We got to find them. There's just some really good stuff. He's sharing stuff about Jacob. This is my favorite one. All right, hold on. Let's open this. Yeah, we're going to copy and replace. All right, we're opening this photo. I hope people care about this content. If you don't, I'm sorry, but it was hilarious for me. This is my favorite one. He tweeted this out. And I think my favorite part about this stuff is that he was thinking this was this was going to make him look good. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me change the backdrop. Sorry, guys. I forgot I had a different backdrop. All right, let me see if I can. Let's do it is there a way to make this bigger? All right, that's a little bit better. And let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. So he shares this. So Jacob's checking in because Dream's melting down. He's like, hey, what's this all about? You want to hop on a call tomorrow? And then he said, no, I'm not hopping on a call. Now, so why did we put hopping? Why did we put hopping in quotes? Did he think it wasn't really a hop? Did he think he wasn't getting on a call? Did he think this was a hit job? Like, what did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? Not hopping on a call. Tell the captains the directive. Now, and then he says, okay, you'll be hearing from us very soon. Now, this to me clearly was Jacob saying, oh, yeah, you'll be hearing about the captains very soon. But I think Dream took this as a threat. And then can somebody tell me why he put a football emoji in here? Can somebody, why football emoji? I would love to know why he put a football emoji. Out of all the things that happened, I want to know why the football emoji. Is that him announcing he's making a pivot to NFL all day? Because I hate to tell you, Dream, NFL all day is a part of the Dapper community. Same bank. And then he said, threaten me all you want. Football emoji, threaten me all you want. I just like, it broke me. It's so funny. It's so funny. It really is so funny. I think anybody caring this much. Okay. And now I think I've buried the lead here. Let me get some other screenshots out here, because some of the best stuff that happened involved, it was talking about, okay, hold on. I wish I could get these in chronological order. I don't know if I can. But let's see if we can do this. All right, here we go. Steve Baller's blockchain sometimes checks out the shows. Steve, I apologize. I really do apologize if you don't want me sharing this stuff, but I love you, Steve. I'm sorry you have to deal with this. All right, here we go. This is with Steve. Steve's informing him. Hey, it's just let me blow this up even more. He's like, hey, it's just a timeout. You're just putting in timeout in the Discord. It's not a ban. It's timeout. It's not a ban. So we could take a minute to talk. Dream's like, I'll post this on social media. Stop banning me. Just give the community answers on the captain's community. Either way, I'm going to post this censorship. So do whatever you want. Wait, hold on. And then, so that was 2505. Let me see if the next one. Then he goes on to say, we got Juan Stockton in the chat. We love it. He goes on to say, you people are the worst. How can you do this to real people? Which I like that he's ascending. It's almost like he's a robot trying to make us believe he's a real person, which I think is kind of funny. Steve said, I'm sorry. I'm truly working hard to the same goals. I know what it looks like I do, but you don't know the inner workings. He said, good luck. You banned me first, and now you're trying to play nice. I'm not going to do that. Unban me now from the captain's channel. And then this is where, like, the gold. This is the straight up gold. And if this was if Top Shot was still cool, I would have done like a dramatic reading. He goes, my wife is here and in tears. My wife is here and in tears. She'll be in these videos with me. You can talk to Steve, but I'm going out tomorrow to answer on all of this in video. You people are the worst. My wife and I are in tears. I do think if I tried to explain, listen, wife, Kelsey, they put me in timeout in the Discord for breaking the rules. Will you come on video with me and cry? You know, just to really, so they're both crying. They're both crying because of the timeout. It broke me. It broke me. I just hope somebody checks in on the Ben Shapiro of Top Shot, you know? Somebody check in on that guy. Oh, God. It brings me great joy. There's few things that will get me to tap into Top Shot like that, Will. And anytime you're like, oh, Jacob's the problem, Dapper's broken, just remind yourself, I would be broken too if I was dealing with that shit. I would be broken, like, oh, my God. I just picture him being at the vice presidential debate last night and just be like, "Excuse me, moderators, I have a question." I just- and maybe some of you are thinking I'm being too harsh, but let me remind you, this guy threw me under the bus during the NFT All-Star game. Okay, so never forget, never forget. Oh God, it's just a beautiful stuff, man. Maybe like I tell you what, if Treaticus writes a song about that, I'll go on the Connecting and Collecting podcast. I will. I will. Badge County, whatever. I'll do whatever you need. Oh, it was so funny. Hi, I'm an undecided voter from Michigan. When will the candidate do to what will the candidate do to increase the price of Job Shot moments? Oh my God, it was hilarious. God, it was so funny. All right, we have one team left. Also, hold on. We should before we do that, let's check in on some Top Shot Tony tweets from yesterday. Top Shot Tony had to weigh in on some of this stuff, which I thought was pretty good. Oh, and I forgot I tweeted out something too. That's right. He deleted the tweet. I forgot, but he deleted the tweet. But here are a couple of things that Tony threw out there yesterday. Dear NBA Top Shot, I am sorry for everything I've ever said about you. It's time to put down our pitchforks and buy moments. I have a dream. Hashtag NBA Top Shot. The other one Tony said was breaking news. It has been announced by Roham that Top Shot Tony is the new Chicago Pull My Wings captain. No bullshit. Hashtag my wife. And then the one that I threw out there, I shared some Jacob DMs too. Some Jacob DMs in honor of today's Top Shot drama. I find it important to stand in solidarity with the community. So I will also be sharing my DMs with Jacob. And then it was the Adam Levine meme. It's truly unreal how fucking hot you are. Oh, I love it. I love it. If you're relatively new to the channel, I'm sorry we're talking about Top Shot. But it was a good trip down memory lane. That's our origin story. And listen, anytime a content creator who just retweets everything crazily, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We got one more team to dive into, and then we'll wrap up here. Yeah, looking for food. Just rewind. We had some good stuff. One more team here. Let's look at. Oh, there we go. Matty Harrison's in the chat, right? Let's get him the video before we talk about Cade.
Detroit basketball! Detroit basketball!
Go. Some Detroit basketball. I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit more about it tonight when we dive in to some 89 Cavs energy. Here we go. The key additions bring back Tobias Harris. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Ron Holland, we included a rookie. They also got Timmy Hardaway Jr., which I don't know if that's a key add. Malik Beasley is there as well. They also lost Quentin Grimes, who I think played 19 minutes for them. But the biggest win for them was Monty Williams no longer there. 2024 odds, 24.5 wins. Over under plus 100,000 to win the NBA chip, plus 60K to win the East, plus 40K to win the Central. Listen, I think glass half full on Detroit, okay? They got rid of Monty Williams. I think that is good. Whether you like JB Bickerstaff or not, Monty Williams clearly he told us before he even took the job, not only do I not want to coach right now, I definitely don't want to coach the Detroit Pistons. It took them upping their offer 3 different times. Then he was like, fine, I'll sit there. And then he got fired. He was not a good coach. Jaden Ivey, I don't think, played until November. It was just a weird season for them. I think this is actually good. You got a healthy Cade, a healthy Ivy. I think Ron Holland is going to be fun later in the season. Tobias Harris, they got a professional basketball player in Toby. Same thing with Tim Hardaway Jr. Same thing with Malik Beasley. You got another healthy Jalen Duren season. Beef Stew out there ready to fight people. I think I'm okay with Detroit. I'm not touching any of these odds or anything like that. I'm not interested in that. However, I think they will feel more like a professional team this year. They're still going to lose a ton of games. I'm sure they'll still tank down the stretch. But I think if you're Detroit, what you want to see is a successful use of Jaden Ivey, Cade, and Duren together. If we can get those 3 guys playing together in a way that makes it seem like, hey, we have a young core for the future. Maybe throw Ron Holland in there too, but specifically Jaden Ivey, right? You've already given Cade the deal. We need to know that Ivy fits with this team. And if he doesn't, you need to showcase him early and you need to move him for assets. Although I don't know if Ivy is the type of guy that like a good team is going to go after. It's going to have to be a team that like wanted to draft him to begin with and didn't. Asar not cleared for anything but individual workouts yet. Wow, Maddie, I hadn't heard that. That's brutal, man. That's brutal because I was excited for year 2 of Asar Thompson. For those that forget, he was like diagnosed with some blood clots towards the end of last year and they had to shut him down. I didn't realize that. So hopefully, did that sound serious or did it sound like they were just being cautious with it? We're gonna just like cover some injury stuff here quickly. Actually, let's add. Well, I don't think there's anything else about Detroit. I like they're the Pistons, right? What else you want to say about Detroit? Let's do a couple of like around the horn type things within the league. So Kawhi Leonard had some interesting quotes coming out of Clippers camp. It sounds like Kawhi is. It sounds like he's going to be dealing with knee inflammation for like the rest of his life. That's what that sounds, or his basketball career, anyways. So I'm a little bit nervous. Like it both sounds like he's not going to miss as much time as outlined, right? Because when people said, "Oh, he wasn't going to be ready for training camp," everybody was nervous. Sounds like he's going to be ready for close to the beginning of the season, but it also sounds like he might be playing like one game a week. So I'm a little bit nervous about your Kawhi Leonard exposure in the fantasy world. However, James Harden. However you feel about James Harden, and I don't know if you saw this quote. This was crazy. James Harden was like, "Hey, we saw what Luka did. Looks like I was right all along. You can play that heliocentric basketball, baby. Give me the rock." So I think James Harden might be trying to turn back the clock here. So get ready for that. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of ugly Terrence Mann 3-pointers and Derrick Jones Jr. wide open shots. Speaking of the Porters, let's get a little Kevin Porter Jr. drop to see if he's going to be ready. Although they did mention there's a chance he gets suspended.
We're the Porters. We share the crowd of up and down performers, throwing things in buzzer beater corners. And one of us is playing for the Warriors. We're juniors and we're the Porters.
There was also some interesting stuff out of Spurs camp. All right, so it was announced that Devin Vassell wasn't going to be ready for the beginning of the season because of the offseason surgery he had on the injury that shut him down at the end of last year. I think a lot of people were freaking out about that. If you listen to the beat reporter, I forget his name, for ESPN who covers the Spurs, it sounds like Vassell is actually already doing 5-on-5s. And that he's going to be joining the team. Like, so opening night, he's not going to be playing, but he's going to be back with the team practicing. And then they're saying like the first week of November, he's going to be ready to go. The season starts the October 24th or 22nd. It's basically the second week of the year. So the second week of the season. So it does sound like, Vassell is going to be ready to go, which is like pretty early on. So I think if you were freaked out about Devin Vassell like me, it's not too bad. 2 other injuries. Jaren Jackson Jr. tweaked a hamstring yesterday. That's pretty concerning. They said they're going to reevaluate him, but we'll have to wait and see. That would be a pretty bad sign for Memphis, who I was really excited about. Maybe it's good news for Brandon Clark, Zach Edey, and Santi Aldama. I don't know why I continue to give him an Irish accent when he's from Spain. Also, Marcus Smart was at media day, so all that shit that I talked about on Monday was useless. And then the last piece of, Mark Williams had like a tendon thing pop up. They said he was going to reevaluate him in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That came out like 5 or 6 days ago, so a week and a half. Boston Bay said, when is the 89 Cavs? 7 p.m. tonight, baby. The Cavs return. Maddie said, Asar says he feels fine, but it has to be cleared by the league and Players Association before he can play. All right, that makes sense. And then Marcon says the Claw will play 50 games max. I think that's right. I think that's probably right. Somewhere between 50 and I could see 60. I don't think we're going to see like 70 again. Juan says, like, okay, I can make an argument that Luka's offense is no longer heliocentric. So we can save that for another time. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, Luka likes to have the ball in his hands, but yeah, I see what you're saying. All right, guys, I think that's it. I was going to say, should we build a pick 'em, but I don't know if anybody has any MLB takes. We can go over to Underdog for a second. Just a reminder, the rest of today. So 1 p.m., I'm jumping on the SORARE Data NBA show. That's going to be exciting. I'm going to be with Andrew Lardino talking about some SORARE NBA hoops. 2 o'clock on our Elite Fantasy Hoops channel, I'm joined by the Badge Bros. We're going to do an Underdog double dribble. And then 7 p.m. tonight, 89 Cavs, baby, 89 Cavs. Get excited. All right, it looks like I do have a 20% profit boost, so we'll use this here. Just a reminder, if you have not signed up for Underdog, 100% deposit bonus match up to $1,000 for new users. So go ahead, check that out. If you haven't signed up, go do it. Anybody have any baseball takes today? Maybe I should save this just in case I find somebody that's a little bit smarter. Hunter Brown K's, maybe? Hunter Brown wheeling and dealing? Go Tigers? Okay, no. We're going to go Tigers. All right, I'm going to save my pick 'em. I'm not going to do it yet. I would like to shout out Sabrina Ionescu going for 46 fantasy points, hit the over of 35. Chelsea Gray going for 26. The over was at 24. And then Alana Smith easily cleared that. That was a nice little dub there. And then if we look at some, let's see, I'm through 60 double dribbles, but I have a bunch of slow drafts going. Kevin Porter Jr., Pod God, and Nembhard still leading the way. I've slowed down my Devin Vassell and Anthony Simons exposure. Jordan Poole's been creeping up. We got Strother creeping up, and then Cam Thomas creeping up, and Grady Dick. Been clicking a lot of big Grady Dick energy. The wing position, Koulibaly up at 28%. Scotty Barnes, 26%. That's fun. Jalen Johnson, LeBron. Been clicking some LeBron lately, guys. And then in the bigs, we still got a ton of Mark Williams. Alex Sarr been my click du jour of late. That's what we've been doing lately. Jordan Mason and Bucky Irving, if you want to use the NFL boot. Okay, there we go. That one I had to use on MLB, but there's another one. Snoop saying Massey over one hit and RBI. All right, I'll add that. And then how early do you have to make a pick 'em to get fantasy points? You have to pick them actually late, Sneeps. Fantasy points usually comes later on Underdog, later in the day. So if you do it early in the day, you can't do it. All right, Snoop, if you're locked in, I'll do this shit right now, baby. I'll do this right now. Oh wait, what did I just do there? Hold on. Ooh, excuse me. Man, day cool in the morning is a weird feeling. All right, so look, we applied the boost. Let's go Massey. Massey over, would you say one hit RBI, right? All right, so you're building a Tigers, right? Iglesias on the Mets, right? Oh, Massey's on the Royals too. What did you say for Iglesias? Over one hit RBI. All right. You have to use at least one WNBA pick, though. I thought. There you go. So now we have two. All right, we could just do two. Does anybody have another one? You got anything else? I kind of feel like I need to use I don't know why I like Hunter Brown K's, but excuse me, that's where I'm at right now. Jordan, does Jordan go deep? Garen, you said go Tigers. You have a Tigers take? Or a Stros take? Oh wow, Steves, that's cool. I did not know that. All right, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna keep those two locked in, but I'm gonna wait for one more pick. I'll save it later. All right, guys. We're gonna check back in a little bit later today. I already told you all the content that's coming. Appreciate everybody tuning into the NBA bit. We returned with the bit on Friday, but I better see you at all the other stuff later today. You should be hashtag tapping in. I'm gonna go just like deep throat some cough drops here. That's the plan. But anyways, I'll see you guys at 1 p.m. with Lardinho. We're out of here. Have a great day, everybody.